Use this conscious communicator. In this episode, I'm going to address the question that I've been asked numerous times by couples. How can I better communicate with my partner? Fill out this form and have a talk. You're going to be blown away with what you learn about your partner that you didn't know. So I'm Doug Andrew. I'm passionate about providing people with insights, principles, and especially tools to help them live an abundant life. And so I've taught thousands of people, in fact, 85,000 hours in my life. I've spoken to audiences from 50 up to 4,000, 25,000 people in some cases. And these are some of the favorite tools that I share with them. And so this episode is going to address a question that I've been asked thousands of times. How can I better communicate with my partner? Now, I'm going to make a confession here. My wife, Sherry, and I have been married 47 years. And I did not know some of the answers that I'm going to ask you on this form after I had been married to my wife for 30 years. So I'm just as guilty as anybody. Sometimes I just thought I knew her. So this is called the Conscious Communicator exercise. And this is one of the many tools that I have in what I call my Legacy Masters Toolbox. There's 20 that are my favorite, and this is one of the top 20. So take good notes, and if you want a copy of this particular tool, at the end you'll have an opportunity to get a link to go in and download a copy of this, but you could fill this out on a blank sheet of paper if you wanted to. So this is called the Conscious Communicator. There is a front and a back to this form, and I'm going to go through and give you an example of how this is used. When I pass this out at a couples retreat, where I'll have often 24 or 48, sometimes I've had as high as 200 couples, and I give them this form, and it's called the Conscious Communicator. And what I do is I have, let's say it's a husband and a wife. I'll have the husband fill out the form without any input, no looking from the wife. I'll have the wife fill out her form without the husband looking, and they do this for, it only takes like 3, 4, 5 minutes. So what happens is I'm actually asking them to fill out how they like to give communication and how they like to receive communication. And in order to do that on this form, we're talking about different types of communication day to day, meaningful information, and life-changing information. The amount of detail on a scale of 1 to 5 here, and also the environment. What kind of environment do they like to give information or communicate? They do the same thing down here on how do they like to receive communication. The types of communication, day-to-day, meaningful, or this is life-changing. The amount of detail on a scale of 1 to 5, and the environment. Now, it sounds pretty simple, right? You may think you understand your spouse, but it is comical how many times when I have couples fill this out and then I have them talk about their answers, and I hear things like, "No wonder you haven't understood me for 30 years." You know, because all of a sudden they're realizing, wow, I didn't realize that. So I'll give you an example here. Let's say that we're filling out this form, and so we say, you know what? The way I like to give communication would be voicemail. This is me. Because I would rather leave a voicemail because I can spit it out pretty fast than typing out an email. But the most important reason why I like to give information via voicemail is because they can hear my tonality. See, otherwise people get confused. They read the tone into an email or a text message that all too often I didn't intend. It's all in the tone and how you communicate, because you can say a sentence and emphasize each one of the words differently, and the sentence has a totally different meaning. The sentence, I didn't say you took the money. You could say, I didn't say you took the money. 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 I mean, you can just emphasize any word and it has a totally different meaning. So I want to leave a voicemail. How about on a scale of 1 to 5, I like to give information at about a 2, okay? I would rather give information in the morning, okay? Because I'm fresh and I'm thinking clear and so forth. I'd rather get up and talk to my wife and what have you in the morning. How about meaningful information? I would rather talk face to face, the spoken word. I like to give about 4 on a scale of 1 to 5. I like to give more detail when it's meaningful information. And I like to be alone together with my wife when it's meaningful information face to face. What about life-changing information? I want to be definitely face to face. I like a ton of detail. And I like to do it on some retreat because this is life-changing. I don't want any interruptions. I want to focus just with my wife about this life-changing information. So that's how I like to give information. Now, how do I like to receive information? So down here, I would actually rather receive a text or an email. What? People say, well, how come you like to leave voicemail? I thought you then would like to receive voicemail. No, I haven't checked my voicemail in 5 years. On my phone, it's been blinking for 5 years. On my smartphone, I only check my voicemail about once a month because I'm just too busy. I hardly even look that there's a voicemail there, but I'll look at text messages. See, if it is just day-to-day information, I'd rather receive a text or an email because I can scan through them and read them faster than sitting there waiting for somebody to spit it out. As far as detail, just give me the bottom line. Just give me 2 here, and I like to receive it in the morning, okay? Now, if it's meaningful information, I do like to receive it in person by voice. I do like a little bit more detail, and I want no distractions. I don't want to be working on something while they're trying to tell me something that's meaningful. So I want to make sure that I can just set aside whatever I'm doing and listen and pay attention. If it's life-changing information, I want to be focused on each other. If this is with my partner, I want the detail to be as much as they can give me, at least a 4, and I want to be away together. So this is how I like to give. This is how I like to receive information. When people see this, even my employees, they go, oh, no wonder you've never answered my voicemails. No. You should have texted me or left me an email. But when I communicate to them, I want to leave information. I want to give them voicemail so they can hear my tonality. Now, this is what's really important is the time. When my wife filled this out, she likes to talk, okay, about meaningful or life-changing information in the evening. I'm working all day. I'm talking adult talk with clients. I can't wait to go home and be quiet. She's been talking with the little kiddies all day. She can't wait to have an adult conversation. The kids are in bed and she wants to stay up till midnight and talk about meaningful stuff. I just want to go to sleep. I want to get up at 5:30 and go work out or go to jog and talk to her in the morning when I'm refreshed. I didn't know that for over 30 years. I'd been communicating at the wrong times. But when she would pour out her heart and soul to me in frustration about something in her family or with her mom or something like that, I always thought she wanted me to fix it. No, she didn't want me to fix it. That's what I would do. As soon as I thought I knew what she was talking about, I would say, well, what you need to do is, and she would get so upset. She didn't want me to fix it. She wanted me to listen and just understand. Oh, honey, I appreciate what you're going through. That meant more to her than anything than me trying to fix it. So on the reverse side of this form is where you begin to talk with each other and you realize that these are the types of communication, face-to-face, spoken, or written. The amount of detail, what happened, how did it happen, who was involved, where did it happen, why did it happen, how much detail do you like? And you start talking to your spouse and you realize based upon the types of communication, the amount of detail they like. This is just so simple, but how many couples never talk about this? Over here on number 4, understanding yourself. What are ways you feel supported through others' communication? So here I put down seek to understand before being understood. When I began to seek to understand my wife before trying to get her to understand me, okay, it made all the difference in the world. How about how are you aware of your tone, details, and emotions while communicating? Well, tone and body language speak volumes. So I wanted to be there to talk and have her hear my voice, the tonality, the spoken word, so she doesn't misinterpret what I'm saying, and to be able to use my body language to touch her, to pat her on the back. That communicates more than just saying words or typing an email, or even leaving a note. When we talk about the setting, the time of day, the frame of mind, I began to realize that my wife liked to stay up late and talk about things. She realized I wanted to go to bed sometimes and get up in the morning. So realizing that, and based upon who has an issue or something that's frustrating them that they want to talk about, the other gives in and says, okay, let's stay up and talk about this. Or my wife, she's so sweet, she says, let's get a good night's sleep and let's get up early. Let's go out for a long walk, and why don't you share with me what you would like to do and what's concerning you. It's made all the difference in the world. This is called the Conscious Communicator. Try it. You will like it. So hopefully you've gotten a few epiphanies with this simple exercise, one sheet of paper. I would recommend that you and your significant other sit down sometime, take 5-6 minutes, fill this out, front and on the back. You can use a blank sheet of paper, or you can go to EA Book. EA Book is entitlementabolitionbook.com. But if you go to eabooktools.com, you can actually download 5 of my favorite tools for free. You can have access to all of my tools for a nominal fee. And you can also get a free copy of Entitlement Abolition. Just pay $5.95 shipping and handling, and you'll be empowered to be able to use these. But as you begin to consciously communicate better, with the right body language, with the right tone, if it's meaningful or life-changing information, how you give, how you receive information, and you understand that about your significant other, it will make all the difference in the world, and misunderstandings will be fewer and far between.